Yeah, hi Letha, this is Michael from the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT. And you want to know a little bit more about my system. So you were a student back in March and you want to work on improving your reading a little bit more, improving your TOEFL just a little bit more. And I think you had a question, well, how is the service different now than what it was then? And you're particularly interested in the reading section, right? All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. So first of all, under the topic outline, I've probably added a few things that you haven't seen. I even put the TOEFL's coming up in November with some new changes to the reading section. I've put that in there along with a whole bunch of other topics. These are just general topics about the TOEFL in general, and don't forget the chat room there. Okay, step one, and let me scroll the page up a little bit here. Probably not much changed here. I have 8 lessons, including lesson 3, which is my 150-page ebook, and also lesson 4, which is the ebook of 1,500 advanced words. All right, pronunciation is probably similar. Step 2, we have 49 different pronunciation lessons, and of course, like I did before, you can take the diagnostic pretest for the vowel and consonant sounds, and like I did, I will recommend specific lessons to help you improve in those areas. And also, like I did before, Letha, is you have the diagnostic pretest for syllable division, grammatical word endings, word stress, sentence rhythm, intonation, thought groups, and blending. And from there, again, I will make recommendations as to which of these lessons you should focus on more to improve. So this is similar to what you've seen before, I think. Grammar. My grammar, I have about 7 lessons under step 3. As you can see them here. And as you know, lesson 7 takes you to the website. And one of the reasons, Letha, is I don't really need to make my grammar section too big, because lesson 7 takes you to a specific website, a private website, where you get literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of writing, grammar, and ESL practice exercises. So I figure, why am I going to spend all this work and design all this content when it's already done anyway? So there's no sense in me wasting time there. Okay, listening. It might be a little bit bigger than what you remember. I've added quite a few lessons to step 4 here. You can take a look at them here. And I'm in the process of working on adding a lot more practice tests. I'd like to get 100. Obviously, I have a long way to go. But basically here, in the listening area, if you count all of the practice tests and the lessons, you're looking at about 32 lessons here. And you see the last ones here, kind of, you just see some of the topics right there. Okay, now what you're interested in is the reading. The reading is very problematic in the sense that it's very difficult to improve reading skills, and I understand that, and I know that for you to really become serious in your reading, you actually have to have good vocabulary. You have to practice extensive reading. You have to have really good knowledge of what I call the reading strategies for the TOEFL iBT, and you have to have a really fast reading speed. So believe it or not, reading is my biggest section right now. I have 92 lessons just in the reading area. And a lot of these are practice tests. I'll explain them a little bit, but as you can see here, you can see my different lessons as we kind of go down and take a look at them here. Let's scroll. And then we get into, once we get to lesson 21, this covers what I call as the introduction to speed reading. And then you have 70 speed reading tests. Each speed reading test, Letha, it's designed to take you up 5 words faster than the previous one. So let me click on one of them. Let's see how it works. So I click on the the speed reading test, right? And you'll watch the video here and you can enlarge it. And once you've watched the video, remember that each video you will see a reading passage for about 60 seconds, approximately 60 seconds. And right after that, you can take the quiz. You just put take quiz, and then from there, you can actually do the reading quiz. Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, once you do these, the reading practice test, and let me kind of go back to the page I was at a minute ago where you can see that. Now, the main thing here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to target your reading proficiency from a whole bunch of areas. Remember, in your vocabulary step, you get the introduction to 1,700 vocabulary words. And you know what? Those words in step 1, you will see all those words in all of these reading passages, believe it or not. So I recycle my vocabulary words in the reading step, in the listening step, and in the vocabulary step. So I want you to get good repetition where you can see these vocabulary words over and over in different reading or listening passages, because I think it's going to help you remember them better. So there is a definite reason why I do the things I do. So you also notice in the listening there's also a lecture about John Adams, or you might also get a lecture about the sun or gay families and so on. So it's kind of recycling certain material and certain vocabulary so that you can get more and more practice with it. So let's just take a look. So we start out at 100. We go all the way down here to 210, but if we keep going from 215. And notice how all the reading passages, they're different topics: tornadoes, astronauts, wetlands, the Great Basin Desert, string instruments, Titanic, mycopropagation. Obviously, this is a science one. Parrots, vampire bats, classical conditioning, and so on, until you get to the very end. Now, if you get to the very end, what you're trying to do here, Letha, is each reading test, do not move to the next level until you get 80% on the previous reading test. Once you get 80, you're ready for the next one. So, once your reading speed is 350 words a minute, this is what I consider college level. And if you can read at 350 words a minute and you have 80% comprehension, Letha, guess what's going to happen on the TOEFL? You will have no time, you will have no difficulty finishing the reading section of the test, right? So all in all in the reading, we have 92 lessons. So probably this is the biggest difference. Step 6, my writing. Here you have 38 lessons, and also you have 10 independent writing practice tests. And here's just a few more lessons here. And you also have 10 integrated practice tests. I don't think this has changed too much, but what I've also done that you probably didn't see is under each step, I put videos. Like here, it's an interview with a TOEFL student who scored 106 out of 120. Or here, interview with Susan Young, who scored 99 out of 120 in the TOEFL iBT. So each step, I will put one or two of these interviews in there so you can see some of my students and you can see what scores they got, and you can get familiar with their study habits, their motivation, their attitude, and all those kinds of things. And then we have, of course, step 7. So step 7, we have a total of 39 different lessons and begins with the para-choice. And then we get into the integrated speaking lessons, and then we have 10, as you know, 10 independent speaking tasks, and then we have right now 15 different integrated speaking tasks. And as you know, you already did this. When you take one of my writing or speaking practice tests, I will score them. I'll give you some feedback. But what I didn't do back then, I'm doing now, which is much better, and I'm always getting better with my system here, is you also get a list of specific lessons from my site that you can work on to get better. So currently, Letha, I have 281 different lessons in my 7-step system to pass the TOEFL iBT, and I don't think I had even half that many when you were a student back in March. So I'm constantly updating, making things better, adding more content to help you guys do much better on the TOEFL iBT.